So a few of you might notice a couple different things that are kind of interesting here. One, I'm not where I usually am right now. I'm actually currently in an office on a business trip in another place. So there were a few time constraints that allowed me to only edit this during different times of the day, and this was one of them. But I did want to take a moment and I wanted to say a few things. The main thing is I really gotta hand it to Rghtstuf for being as professional and courteous and awesome as possible during this entire process. They gave me a review copy of the show that I got to watch and everything like that, and they also were super forthcoming about making sure everything was on time, and they were super understanding of everything, and they were in the middle of their holiday rush for all of this, so I really gotta hand it to these guys. If you don't know who Rghtstuf are, they're an anime merchandise website that has a ridiculous selection of stuff. One of my favorite things to do is I go on there and I do their $5 t-shirt box, and they just go through their t-shirt stuff and they're just like, that one, and they just put it in a bag and they're like, there you go, hope you like it. And I get some legitimately cool shirts out of doing that stuff, so it's pretty fun. Now, one of the other things that Rghtstuf is really good at doing is giveaways, and they're doing one with me for the channel. It's awesome. We're giving away a copy of the El Hazard DVD, same version that I watched, and some trading cards from the El Hazard collection that look really sick, actually. There's a little picture up here, probably. So you're probably wondering, how do I enter this giveaway? There's a link in the description, has a little form in there so they can get your name and your info down so they can send the DVD to you if you win. The winner will be decided in... Crap, I actually don't remember. I'm gonna check my email and then I'm gonna let you know. A week from today. It's gonna be a week from today after the uploading of this video. So for the chance to win some cool stuff, head to the link down there, fill out the form, and maybe you'll win something in a week. In the meantime, on with the show.
So, let's give you all the skinny here. A few months ago, I was approached by Rghtstuf to cover one of their titles. They gave me a list that was primarily Gundam titles and a few others like Astro Boy and other stuff like that. Now, I didn't just want to pick one Gundam to talk about because it's Gundam. There's like a bajillion Gundams and a lot of them are great, but mostly Unicorn. I like Unicorn a lot, and it may or may not have something to do with Hiroyuki Sawano. So I'm going through this list and trying to find something to talk about, but something caught my eye. El Hazard. Spanish for the hazard, by the way. I cracked up laughing, I'm not going to lie. Something about that title just spoke to me. I put on an air of sophistication, looked it up and said, ah yes, El Hazard, as I've now found out it's pronounced. I'll talk about one of the original isekai anime to hit the States, which is a thing I had to look up because, mind you, I have never seen this before in my freaking life. And let me tell you, what I found was absolutely incredible. Like any weeb worth his salt, I delved into the cast and crew because I need answers, see? I gotta find out how this show was made. The author, Ryo Sukimura, doesn't show much of note until you see these two, Noir and Utena. These kind of speak for themselves. No, look, there's Tenchi Muyo down there. I've seen enough. I know what I'm getting into. Now, in researching some of the characters in the story, I found out that I have El Hazard the Wanderers, which is a 26-episode series that was produced a couple years after the original series, which is just called El Hazard the Magnificent World. Both are great, but for the purposes of this video, assume I'm talking about the Wanderers. So we start out with a girl hawking bento at people at her school, expositing that the school's cultural festival is starting soon, hence why all the kids are getting stuff ready. We also learn that she's got a little crush on our protagonist Makoto, who is a science kid and works in a lab with large superconductors. I wonder how they get to El Hazard. That's all beside the point, however, because what happens next is the thing that told me I was in for a good time.
Hey, what are you doing? You can't put that thing in front of my window. Anime fans.
You guessed it, the dub for this is god-tier levels of 90s anime writing. I watched both editions, and let me tell you, the Japanese dub does lend some coherency to the plot, but the English dub of this is actually the way to go. It's just got a certain level of quality that is just, mwah, it's perfect. It's perfect. Now we go back and find out that Katsuhiko, the student council-elect, is a total prick, and he sneaks into Makoto's lab in the middle of the night to wreck shop. Makoto shows up and tries to salvage the situation, and through the magic of old-school anime transitions, we are transported to the otherworldly realm of El Hazard. Makoto runs into his teacher, Masamichi, from earlier, who discovers that he's super strong until he drinks. They set off on an adventure to unravel the mysterious world of El Hazard that they now find themselves stuck in. What ensues is a fairly standard harem plot with a young lad who holds a mysterious power within, yada yada yada, 12 years worth of Okay, I've gotta stop with the isekai comparisons because believe it or not, El Hazard is nothing like the shows we know and love / hate today. This is of a different time, mind you, before isekai really became a thing. And that's why I like it so much. It's not really treading on any shows that came before it. It's just got its own character. The art style, the animation, the music, Jesus Christ, the music. It's all just that feeling of staying up late on Saturday nights and watching Toonami and like, maybe I'm just old. Maybe I'm old. Yeah, I just checked. I'm old as hell. The show is not without its faults, though. It does tend to trot along in pacing, really taking a while to get going, but overall ending in something that's absolutely watchable. Which brings us to you, dear viewer. Should you pick up El Hazard the Wanderers? I say yes, if you're pining for some of that nostalgia I was just talking about earlier. Oh, yeah, and you can pick up El Hazard from the link in the description, along with a ton of other awesome merchandise from Rghtstufanime.com. Thank you so much to Rghtstuf for helping me put out this video, and to all of you, thanks guys. Bye-bye.